Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Life in Jest, the podcast where we subscribe to Chaucer's sage advice. Many a true word hath been spoke in jest. And you can see if you're watching this, you can see that Pascal has drastically changed. Now, I'm only kidding. Pascal had to take a day off. So I invited my old pal, Lynne Marie, to come visit. You'll see why. For many reasons, but she's a dear old friend that we've known each other. What is it, Lynn? Like 20 years?
At least, yeah.
It's been a long, long time. You see, I do have these long friendships.
At least 20, maybe even liquidy, I don't know, early? It
Yeah.
might even be up to 25.
Yeah. I mean,
But
yeah, it's
let's
been
not
a long
go
time.
over that.
It was
That's good.
so
A long time.
long time. So I invited Lynn. We're going to do a Halloween episode, which is so exciting, a spooky season episode. Because we both love spooky season. That's one main reason I invited her, but also because she writes these really cool Halloween books. So Lynn is an author, and Lynn, tell us about yourself.
So, hi, my name is Lynne Marie. Selene and I actually met each other through an author group
Yeah.
that is still around, but
Yeah.
long ago in a galaxy far, far away. The very first meeting, I don't know if I sat next to you or whatever,
I
but
think you did. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, and I think I scoped around as like, okay, who could be like a like-minded person?
Yeah. I understand. I understand that. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and then I sat next to her, and from that, like, very first time, we were just, like, friends and
It's
cutting up,
true.
and
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, anyway, and so we both went on to publish books, Selene more into nonfiction, me into fiction, but here are two of mine, the most recent being Broommates, which are about
Hold it up even higher so we can
well,
see.
okay, see, I can't see
Or
what I'm
move it over a little bit the other way. Little higher now. There you go. That's
okay.
good. Yeah.
And then also Moldilats and the Three Scares, which
And
is a
move that
retelling
over a little bit too. There
this
we go.
way?
Yay. That's good. Yeah.
Okay. Which is a retelling, obviously, of Goldilocks and the
Mm,
Three Bears
so cute.
with my own special monster
Yeah.
type Halloween-y
Yeah.
slant on it. And
And
that's
you've
also
always, it's so amazing that these were published because you work because I know how much work went into that. You know, everybody appreciates seeing a published book, of course, but
right.
nobody but the people that work so, so hard, and especially I knew you working on these books and I don't know about Broommates, but definitely Moldilocks. I was there for something of it.
That one, and
Yeah.
especially this old one.
Oh my God. Yes. The Palace Rat. Yes. And it's so wonderful when these things come into life. They get what they deserve, and we get what we deserve because we work so hard on them. And nobody would understand how many years we have to put into working on these things. It's crazy.
Exactly. That one, I wrote in 1998. So
Wow.
I don't even know if I went to Liqui in 1999, but it was 1999 when I embarked on my journey. So it could have even been then. But
Yeah.
again, we're not going over 25.
Yeah.
So that story was written in 1998 and got
Wow.
published in 2023.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's amazing. But that just shows how dedicated we are to our work. We never give up on it because why would we? I mean, this is a lesson for everybody, no matter what you do. Just don't give up on your dream. You don't know. It might take really, really, really long, but it's never too late. It's never too late.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, well, why don't you tell us a little bit about Broommates?
So, Broommates was a story that I had written about when I went back to college in early 1990s about my sisters. We were supposed to write from experience and sharing a room. And it was an okay story, but I'm like,
Yeah,
you know what this story needs? Witches.
exactly.
So it needed witches, and I actually wrote that after Tomb Mates, which was about two brothers sharing a tomb. Um, that has a possible future right now. We'll see. I'm not
Yeah, that's
sure,
it. I think it
but
could be a companion book.
exactly.
Yeah.
But it's kind of up in the air kind of situation right now. So I took a story that like would resonate with people, but made it more fun. Because who
Absolutely.
wants to see two sisters squabbling about how to decorate their room? But like if you make it witches, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hold it up right because I can't see myself, but I'll try to is this the sweets?
Yes, I see them.
It
Yes,
just
yes,
makes it way more fun, and
it
then, like,
does.
when they fight, it's, like, way more fun too.
Adorable. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yeah.
like so and it has a good takeaway at the end, but it was fun for me, like, one of my first books when I was a kid that I loved was The Witch Next Door by Norman Bridwell.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that, like, always stayed with me, right?
yeah,
And, like, why next door? Why not share a room with a witch? So,
exactly.
all
Yeah,
that reading when I was in the 1st grade and
yeah,
onward, right? That stays with you, and it kinda comes out in your books, and,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, that's very true. You know, it's funny the things that influence us. I mean, I was hit by a lot of the history stuff too, obviously. So, you know, I never thought I would write it. Never, never did I think I would write it. But there you go. You never know what's going to stay with you and come out. But it's true. You know, I love
yeah,
that. I love talking about that stuff. I could talk about it endlessly. But I did not want to make this just a book episode because we want to talk about spooky stuff. I will
mhm,
say I'm going to put links in for Lynne's books in the show notes, so you can order them in time for Halloween, people. There's, Amazon's good for that. Get them fast, right?
definitely.
Yeah. So, and Lynne, I'll put a link to your website also.
Great, thank
Okay,
you.
sure. Lynne travels extensively. I travel extensively too, but Lynne definitely beats me. So you have.
Mhm.
Oh, but I do want to mention before that we went to Spain together. That was
We
something.
did. Oh my gosh, the stories we could tell about going to Spain together, that was so much fun.
The hunt for coffee. Oh my gosh, and we went.
Remember all
Yeah.
I ate was the Madrid omelet or whatever they
Yes.
called it, like
Yes, I know, yeah. Now I would have the same problem. At the time, I was more flexible with what I eat, but now I don't eat meat. But it was a tough time, and also, boy, everybody was smoking there. Remember the
my
smoke?
gosh.
The airport, you couldn't breathe.
I know.
It was just a cloud of smoke, the whole place.
Oh my gosh, and remember the zoo? So, like, we
Yeah,
like horror stuff, right? But that
yeah.
zoo was
My god, those animals were chained.
I know, the zoo was, like, scarier than the horror story.
I can't believe what they did to those animals. I hope things have changed. What year did we go there? Do you know? You seem to be very good with dates.
Yes, we went there in 2003 together.
How do you know this?
Huh,
How like, did you research it before you came on, or
no.
you have this in your head? This is an amazing gift to recall dates like this.
Yeah, not all of
Yeah.
them, but
That
yes.
I would never I would have to do some serious research to find out when we went to Spain. I don't even know if I could do it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 2003. But, and are you gonna mention some of our, like, friends that we were with?
Sure. You can mention go ahead.
So,
Absolutely.
David Fickling from David Fickling Books, Arthur Levine from
Yes.
Scholastic, Rosemary Brosnan, HarperCollins, who is the Doug, the
Yeah, I don't
author? No, the
yeah.
artist?
Yeah, I don't know then, I'm so bad with this stuff too. I'm sorry.
Urge Diak, who is now an
Yeah.
agent for Henan
Love
Inc.
her.
Anna
Yeah.
Wan, who illustrated a book about who was that? Frida Kahlo, I think it was. Yeah, we were with, like,
Yeah.
some
Amazing.
really great
Yeah.
people hanging around oh, Lauren
Yeah.
Schimmel.
Yes, yes. You're so
Yes.
good with everybody's names. Like, I see them all in my head. I knew obviously, I knew some of them, but their names, but I know but I see them, but I can't always use it. I can't connect the name to the person. You know, I just don't have that gift. You are amazing.
Well,
You have such
I
recall.
just saw Lauren Schimmel's in, oh, I think it was North South Books as an editor.
Really?
Yeah.
That's very cool.
I
Wow.
know, I know. So, like, it's neat when you see those people coming around again,
It
right?
is. It is. And we went there because it was such an amazing group that was going to be there. It was a Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators, SCBWI conference. Most people don't trek that far, but
But we do.
we saw the possibilities, and also we both used our miles. We were both good with our credit cards and charged everything. Yeah, and had miles, and I to this day, do you still do that? I do it all the
I still do
yeah,
it.
absolutely. Why not? If we have to pay for something, why not get something out of it? I never
Exactly.
pay cash for anything. Anytime I go to I try not to buy coffee. It's so expensive these days.
My God.
But anytime I ever buy anything, I always charge it to get my miles, always. And so the traveling didn't cost us anything, just the staying there. So really, it was just the same as going to a conference anywhere, really. You know, for us.
Right,
But
exactly.
but
but
we got to
better,
go there, and it was so cool.
intimate.
It was so intimate. It was a small conference, and we got to really hang with them. Now, David Fickling edited oh my god, the book just went out of my head. The Golden Compass. Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
Yes, and I had read it for my master's program. Now, normally, I do not read fantasy. I just don't. I like reality. I'm a reality girl. I wanna deal with a real life situation. Even if I write fiction, I kinda want it to be I don't kind of, I want it to be reality. I just trying to find a way out of it in reality. That I know there's usually 2 camps. People love fantasy or people love reality, right? But I read it, and it was amazing book. I mean, very, very well written. I was glad to read it. However, I didn't quite understand where they were. Like, because they seemed to have a lot of human qualities, but yet they had these other powers. So I made the mistake of asking. I was getting along really. He was a great guy. This guy was so much fun, and we just had a great time. He was just like really amusing and gregarious and a very caring person until I put my foot in my mouth. I said, "Look, I love the Golden Compass, but I just have a question. Where are they? What is this setting?" He looks at me like I'm an idiot. He goes, "It's an alternate universe." I'm like, was that mentioned? I don't like, did I miss that? I need things spelled out for me. But after that, he kind of looked at me like I was a complete ass. Like I don't know. How would I have known that?
Well, I don't know if you remember, but I kind of had like a moment with him. I'm like, "You're British," and I wrote this British retelling of the Three Little Pigs. And he's being like, and it was like what did I call it? The three little, it was a more British term for pigs. I don't even remember. It got
I
lost.
do remember this. I do.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
famous computer crash. I
Yeah.
lost it.
Oh.
Anyway, he's like very quiet and he reads it. And I put so much research, like I wove in like mother, maid, and crone and all these Celtic things. And so,
You are so good at putting in these things. You pick out you find so many things to put into your stories. It's amazing.
yeah, that's
Yeah, yeah,
like my
absolutely.
favorite part of
Yeah.
writing. But
Yeah.
then he said, "This is brilliant." And it was like one of those, like, "This is brilliant, but,"
Yeah.
and he's like, "No one's ever gonna buy this."
Why?
Okay, so what I did, I
Why did he
researched
say that?
it for good reason, well, to some degree. So I did research on the Celtic tribes, so I made, like, the mother was the mother of all Celtic tribes and had these 3 little it was boarlets. Boars.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
And
Yeah.
then so the first one was named Erin after Ireland, so it's like from this mother came these tribes that settled
Right.
in, Erin in Ireland, Caledonia in Scotland, and Gallia in France, where the Gauls settled.
Mhm.
And then, of course, the villain was Britain, Briton, which is like an old English way,
God.
and I made Britain the wolf.
Oh, that's not good, probably, for the
No,
British.
no. It's historically accurate.
So you gotta publish it in Ireland or something. I mean, that's the answer.
Yeah, Northern Ireland. Oh, no, Northern Ireland's with England and
I
Southern
don't know.
Ireland.
I'm really bad with all that stuff. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Southern Ireland. But anyway, so he
Oh my
was like
god.
he was just like, "No one wants to Britain
Yeah.
to be the bad guy."
Yeah. For the same reason they probably would never publish a book about the American Revolution.
Exactly, exactly. But, and here I thought, "This is my audience." But
That's so funny.
again, it really happened that Britain was breathing down the neck of all
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
countries, right?
They don't wanna know. It's just like in America. America doesn't ever want to acknowledge all the things they've done. You can understand it to a certain extent. Look, that's psychology. No one ever wants to admit to their things they did in the past. It's sad. It's unfortunate. I think Canada does. Canada's very good about
Yeah.
admitting things, but they're definitely in the minority on that one, you know?
He didn't do it, so, like, he should still,
Yeah. I get no,
right?
I yeah, understand, but I'm telling you that we don't admit I mean, I've been trying to get a book published about eugenics, but nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants I mean, there's adult books, but I wanted to do one for young adults, And I wrote the outline and it's just like, how dare you expose that we did these horrible things? I mean, forcibly sterilizing kids, you know?
Right.
I mean, People did not find out they were sterilized until they tried to have a family. They didn't even know,
I actually
you
read
know?
something about that,
There's
yeah.
a lot. I mean, do you know that it's still legal to forcibly sterilize people? There was a case that went up to the Supreme Court, and it was ruled constitutional. It was ruled that they did forcibly sterilize this woman. That's what I really wanted to write the book about. This case where this woman, they declared her to be an imbecile, and she had a baby. They declared the baby to be an imbecile. There was no reason for this, and no, they were not imbeciles. Right? They forced her to be sterilized. It was a horrible thing. The little girl was put into foster care. It's a huge mess. Right? It's a huge mess,
Right. A
and
real horror story.
real horror story. And I think this kind of stuff needs to be aired so nothing happens again. Look how history is repeating itself with things that are going on right now. But no one wants to talk about eugenics, and that was never overturned. So you can still do these things in America legally. There's nothing saying you can't. And my heart just breaks. And I'm the kind of person that I want to share this stuff. I think young adults need to know it
We need to
because
learn from it.
they're gonna be the change. The kids are the change, and we
Exactly.
have to inform them. We have to inform them to make sure that this doesn't happen again. I still wanna do it. Anyway,
Anyway, on a lighter note,
yeah, yes,
it
it was a great conference, and we had a blast, even if we couldn't find good I know people could be like, "Why couldn't you find good coffee in Spain?" I don't know, it just didn't taste right.
it didn't. It was hard. It was hard,
We were
Spain.
searching for Starbucks, remember? We took a bus, we were going everywhere for Starbucks.
I think we were 20 years too early because they have
Yeah.
Starbucks in Italy now too, and they
Well, they have
didn't.
them everywhere now. When I was in, London much younger with I think my kids were little, I couldn't find a decent cup of coffee anywhere, but now there's amazing coffee in London. So, things have changed, you know?
It has.
Yay, I love it. Okay, so let's talk about I guess we'll start with the Lizzie Borden house because it's so funny that I was there with Pascal and we did an episode about it, and we were like, "Oh, it was so cool to stay here." And then you told me that you did stay there. So
I also like history and, a little bit intrigued by true crime, and who didn't grow up
mhm.
saying Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her
Yes,
father
exactly.
40 whacks.
Yes.
When she saw what she had done, she gave her mother 41. I think that's how it went. I forget who was first.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah, yeah, was it? Yeah, the father got it first, yeah.
yeah, the father.
Yeah,
And, so, I don't know, I was like, "Oh my gosh, there's a bed and breakfast at the house." And I'm
yeah,
like, "How cool to stay there," right? In
yeah.
Fall River. But so, on a little bit quick aside, the reason I wanted to go to Fall River was to see the Titanic Museum because
Okay, oh, wow, I didn't even know that was there.
yeah,
Huh,
it's not huge, but it's very well renowned
really?
if you're one of the rivet counters like I used to be.
Oh my god, I get so sad about the Titanic. I can't
It
stand
is,
it.
but I'm like, I don't know why I'm so fascinated with it, but, so
No, you're not
I
alone. You're not alone. There's a lot of people that are. Yeah.
yeah, and I wanted to check that off my list, and I'm like, Fall River, there's Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast and
Wow,
Titanic Museum, like,
that's pretty amazing.
that's a no-brainer, right?
Yeah.
So, then I called up and I was making a reservation, and I was making it far enough that I had, like, a choice of rooms, so I had to really put my thought into it, like Lizzie's room, her sister's room, the maid's room, and I'm like, where would I get, like, kinda, like, interactions, like, with the ghosts? And then I'm like,
Yeah.
the murder victim's room.
Oh, you stayed in the one with the mother, the stepmother was oh, wow.
Where the
I think I
stepmother was killed.
yeah, yeah, they have the dummy thing laying there.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and, of course, it was the father's room too, I believe.
I guess
Okay.
so. Yeah, I guess it
Yeah,
was, yeah,
yeah.
but she was actually killed there.
Yeah, she was like,
Yeah.
so I was like, I have to stay in that
You
one.
know, and now that I think about it, I think that she got killed the woman got killed first, and then the father walked in, no?
No, the father was definitely on the couch.
Yes, but I think the mother got killed upstairs, and then the father came home later.
He was laying down on the couch
Okay, so how did the mother not hear the father get killed?
because the father, I believe, was sleeping on the couch and she bashed him in the head with the axe.
But how did the mother not come running down the stairs? She didn't hear anything? She was
I
right
don't,
above.
I did before I went, I read like every book on Lizzie Borden, but I went around 2000.
Oh, okay, long time ago, yeah,
Yeah, so I
yeah.
don't remember them,
Sorry.
but,
I'm trying to remember. I can't believe I was only there, like, maybe, like, 2 months ago, and I'm, like, already fuzzy on the details.
yeah.
If I'm not writing a book about it, it doesn't stay as sharp in my head, you know? But anyway, that is I think I would choose that room too. I think I would because that's like, wow, that's where the action was for sure.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
wanna, like, 'cause I've been in France and, like, felt like I saw ghosts and things like
Yeah?
that, so I'm like, "I'm definitely gonna do this," and they had I forget what it was called, 48 hours or something the next day, we're interviewing, did anybody have any, like, cosmic or whatever
Yeah.
seismic? What's the word?
I think maybe seismic. I don't
Yeah,
know. Yeah,
and
I
I'm
think so.
like, "To be honest, no," and I was, like, really trying.
That's too bad.
Yeah, I told them as I ate my, like, little bloody axe cookies at breakfast, because it was bed and breakfast, they give us
Yeah.
these little cookies with, like, blood on and they were
Oh, that's
axes with,
cool.
like, red
Very cool.
icing. It
Wow.
was cool, we did, of
But so
course.
you didn't nothing happened the whole night? You didn't nothing? Did anybody have anything? That's disappointing.
Yeah, well, they thought if anyone was, I would, because I was in the murder victim's room with where a murder took place, but
Yeah.
I honestly I wish I
Yeah.
wish I did better.
Yeah, that's too and you say you've had the experiences before.
Mhm.
Wow. Well, just tell me on the side note, describe, like, your greatest experience that you've had with a ghost or something, a spirit.
Well, the greatest ones probably are more personal and also longer because then I have to establish the relationship. So I will
Okay. Okay, family and stuff?
yeah, so I
Yeah.
will tell you that, I was in France with the tour guide on a Trafalgar tour in this castle that they said is haunted. And we were like, "Where is it haunted?" So they told us that this person goes past this, like, window upstairs, like, in this
Hmm.
attic. So they let us up there, and when they let us up there by ourselves, and we're just, like, hanging around looking at out the window, and, like, we're like, "Who's to say if it's really haunted? It could be, like, a cloud pass by," and
Yeah.
and then we both saw it, a man walk by the window at the same time, me and the tour guide who, you could say I'm crazy or whatever and all into this stuff, and, like, obviously she had an interest, but, like, 2 people are crazy. So
Yeah.
we both run to the window and look out, and there's, like, no place to walk.
Wow.
And I'm like, "Did you see what I saw?" And she was like, "Was it like a man with a hat and, like, long hair and a dark cape?" And I'm like, "Yes! Oh my
Wow.
god."
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's
that
really
was, like,
cool.
pretty interesting.
Yeah. What's the name of this place where it happened?
Oh my gosh, I can't even remember. That was in 1998. It was some chateau, in France, I think north of France.
Wow. If you could find out, I could put in the show notes. That is interesting. If you
Yeah,
could, do you think
I'll
you could?
try to look it
Yeah.
up.
I mean, I don't know. People like to go look at that stuff. So I would be, you see, you're making me want to go there because
Oh my gosh, there's
I
so
love
many
that
good
stuff.
places, and I know this is
Really.
not on the itinerary, but I didn't get to tell you this yet. Did you know I went to Dracula's grave?
No.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Oh, well, we definitely want to talk about that. Why not?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's finish Lizzie and then we'll
Yeah, let's
backtrack to
finish
that.
Lizzie.
But
So,
this is
Liz
how I operate, by the way. There's no ever we just don't whatever we talk about, it's fine. But go ahead. But I think that's really cool. That's amazing that that happened to you. I've never had anything like that. I mean, I mean, I probably told you. I tell everybody that I communicate with my son, and I had a lot of communication with my boyfriend who died, and then my aunt when she died. She's definitely. She always. I mean, I can't prove her. Obviously, it's her, but I just know. I started finding hearts everywhere, and she used to call me Dear Heart, and I know, like, and now I find them, but there's always something like abnormal about them because my heart's so broken. You know what I mean? I find like mutilated hearts.
right.
Yeah, yeah, and, so but right after she died, it was snowing we came home, right? My kids and I came home, and there was a blanket of snow like, I parked, and there was this perfect blanket of snow outside in the street, like, undisturbed. 'Cause I guess we'd been home a little while. My car was already parked, so nothing had disturbed the snow. But then Casey looked out the window and was like, "Mom, what how did this happen?" We went outside, and there were 2 hearts interlinked in the snow.
Wow.
was not there. It was like how did it was like boom, it happened. Like I had looked and there was nothing, and then he looked and it was there. So tell me, you tell me. And when my boyfriend lived here and he had like this huge truck that he loved, you know how men in their trucks, right?
Yeah.
And so he knew where that, he always knew where that truck was parked. He came downstairs and he looks out the door and he goes, "Who moved my truck? His truck was moved."
Well, I believe this stuff, and if you ever wanna invite me back for another where we're gonna talk about that, I have, like, a lot of stories
Well,
about.
yeah, let's definitely do that for
Yeah.
sure. And then when my mom died, they say people come and say goodbye, right? Well,
Yeah,
there
I
was a knock
believe
at
that.
oh yeah, there was a knock at my door, and I opened it really fast, right? And my house. There's no way to where to hide. You know what I mean? You would see like I opened it immediately, and there was nobody there, so I know that she knocked on the door. So yeah, but mostly, of course, like most of my stuff is with Casey, but. Yeah, I always wanted to see, like, ghosts, like, you're like, this thing with somebody passing by a window. I've never seen anything like that, and I've always wanted to. I feel cheated that I have never seen anything like that. So we'll definitely do a show about that kind of stuff because I
Yeah,
love this, and I know so many people love this kind of stuff.
I
But,
do, definitely.
going back to Lizzie Borden, though, so none of the people had anything psychic happen to them at all. Did anybody feel like do you feel it was worthwhile doing it?
Yes.
Yes, you do? Did you feel like any vibes at all from the whole place?
To some degree, like, so we did a whole tour. We toured also the graveyard and also the church that she attended. And so,
Wow.
you're like building this narrative, and
Yeah.
it's like you're like definitely spooked out. And you're
Oh,
like,
that's cool.
my God, I can't believe like right here, like a
Yeah.
murder occurred. And I feel honestly like it had like negative, like, whatever you wanna call it, like, you could tell.
Vibes.
And I have another story about that too that we won't talk about, but I feel like when bad things happen in a place, like, sometimes you're like, "Ew."
Yeah. Absolutely.
It, like, lingers, that
Yeah, oh, for sure.
feel.
Yeah.
Not that I thought it would attach to anyone, but I just thought if you're sensitive, you could feel it. And then also some of it's imposed by, like, and the
Right.
stories come into life.
Yeah, you're right,
I think
absolutely.
it was worth it. I would go back. And we didn't know that they were coming the next day from the TV show. No, it was Unsolved Mysteries or something like that.
Really?
And I think maybe the spirits knew or something because I feel like something could happen there, and it was just like they were just like,
Why didn't they wanna be known, though? Like, don't s that's a question, right? Do they wanna be known? And, I mean, I would think they would be more active if they knew that Unsolved Mysteries was coming and then, so it give you something to talk about.
yeah, maybe. I guess that was just my impression that,
That's interesting. Yeah, I wish we did know that's the thing about ghosts, right? Like, we don't really know their intentions, and that I mean, as a writer, I guess it's sort of intriguing, right? Except the problem is you never really get the answer unless, like, somehow they definitively show you, which how, you know? It's a weird thing, but, it's annoying a bit to not know the motivations of ghosts.
Well, as a teacher, I'll tell you, my mother used to do the flowers for her Methodist church where she went, and she used to do it in the basement, and I didn't like to go down there. And she's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "There's a ghost down there."
Hmm.
And my mother's like, "Stop it. That's nonsense." And I said it when someone else was there, and then they told me a story about a little girl who had died, like, when
Oh
she
my
was,
god.
like, 6. But anyway, we won't
Wow.
go in. Anyway, but I'm
Wow.
like, that's who it was because, like, it
Yeah.
was a little girl and, like, I wasn't making the other person make up this story, but that's the
Right.
ghost was, like, a little
Yeah.
girl.
Aw, poor kid.
Yeah, so I'm like, definitely something lingered. And
Yeah.
yeah, so anyway, but
No, I absolutely believe in all that, but I never experienced it. I've only experienced it with people from my own life, I've never experienced it, I'm a caring person, I'm surprised they don't come to me with their problems.
well, I thought of that too. I thought, like, I should actually have more because I'm just
Yeah,
very open to it.
yeah. It's strange, right? Yeah, you don't
It
know.
is.
Well, Pascal and I did not like that they were selling the brick dust, that they just scraped it off the bricks. We just thought that was a little bit of a money
They were
grab?
not doing that when I was there. I think that came later.
And they took us I kind of liked it in the beginning, but then they took us in the basement. By the way, and also another thing that we didn't like, because we just took the tour of the house, right? And we were alone. We were the only people on that tour. I'm sure
Yeah.
now it's very crowded this season, but so we went, you pay extra to go in the basement. There's absolutely nothing in the basement, like of any value.
Well, they said they found the axe down there, right?
No, they said it wasn't they said it was proven it was not the murder weapon. Yeah. So there's really no reason to go down there. People go down there and podcast down there, and I don't understand that. Because if I were going to do my podcast in that house, I would do it either in the bedroom or the living room, like where it happened.
Right.
Why would you podcast in a room further away from where it happened? I don't get that. But and they had like there's a ghost cat or something that walks around, but that cat died recently. It's nothing to do with Lizzie Borden. You know, I mean it's fine. There's a ghost cat, but
Well,
it's
okay, so now you're just giving me more credence why I think that they didn't show up, because there obviously people are, like, pimping these things and
they
trying to
really are.
monopolize on them, and
Yeah.
there's
Well,
not.
okay, that's a problem I have with it too. And it's owned by a tour company. That's who runs the whole thing. So look, it's obvious that they're trying to get every dime they can out of the whole thing. It's not the same as when a historical society owns something or,
Ed, I remember the guy's name, some old guy named Ed did it, but now
yeah.
that's, like, 20 years ago. Is he still there?
No, I think this tour company more recently bought it actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're very commercial. I mean, as they are. Look, I get it, right? But I just think it's too much. She showed us the bricks where they scrape the dust, and it's in the basement. I'm like, this isn't even. It's nowhere near where I don't know. I was like, it totally ruined the whole thing for me when I saw that. I'm like, what did you? You shouldn't have showed me that.
Yeah, I
It's like
know.
going behind the wizard's curtain. Just kidding.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing over there, but and then after that, I kind of and you know me, remember how I love I'm just plugging in my computer, sorry. I thought it was plugged in, but it was not. Okay. Remember how much I love buying souvenirs?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love them. I love them. There's no remorse either. I just love them, right? I didn't buy anything from that house because I got annoyed because I was gonna buy the brick dust, and then it just ruined it. You okay? And then everything just kind of bothered me, and I also I didn't like any souvenir that had that poem on it because it's not true, and you know what a purist I am, right?
Yes.
So I'm like, I'm not buying a souvenir of a thing that's wrong. I'm not gonna do it. So it left me with very few choices. And then I just wound up not buying anything. That might be a first for me.
See, I don't mind the poem because another good poem. Did you remember Anne Boleyn walked the bloody planks with her head tucked underneath her arm? Like we
No.
used to do these Lizzie Bordens and the Anne Boleyns and walk in circles in the rain and or whenever we were bored and
That's so
things.
funny, Anne Boleyn. I know somebody who says that she's the reincarnation of Anne Boleyn.
My gosh.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. She's one of my writing students. She's writing a book about Anne Boleyn, actually. But,
Wow.
yeah. But,
Interesting.
yeah. So yeah, so I'm really well versed in Anne Boleyn, but I never, and whenever she comes up, I think it's so funny. 'Cause like, Anne Boleyn, poor Anne Boleyn, that was a terrible thing what happened to her. I mean,
It
unbelievable.
was.
That guy was such a jerk. I mean, ugh, horrible, horrible man, and never really paid
Pompous.
for
Are
it,
you allowed to say ass? He was like a
Yeah,
pompous.
we full out curse here if you want.
Oh, okay. Something to look forward to.
Yes. Well, Pascal, I can't stop her from cursing, so she curses constantly, it's so funny. Yeah, so but I didn't know that one about and honestly, I knew the Lizzie Borden one, but I was never a kid that really did that stuff, you know? I don't know why. Well, I know I can't jump rope to save my life, I can't do it. So that's
Yeah,
a
you could
yeah,
do it with that. Yeah, we
yeah,
did
I
it with
can't
the double dutch.
yeah. Oh, I can't do that at all. I'm just a klutz. Like I can't I could never no matter how many times I practiced and tried, could never to this day. I was going I had a, a workout coach, couldn't do it. He's always tried to force me. Couldn't do it.
Now you watched The Addams Family and the Munsters though, right?
Did watch them. Yes. Yes.
Well,
Very
who
good.
didn't? TV was different. Like, if you weren't watching
Yeah.
that stuff, what were you doing?
Right, what you're doing. What about I mean, I like Wednesday, but I don't have I like the first season a lot, but I don't know. Now I have a really hard time with it, probably because Casey, my son, loved it, and so it's hard for me. But I will say, damn, that's not for kids. Oh my god, I
Right.
saw the first episode of the second season. Spoil it's not a spoiler in a big
I
way.
didn't watch it yet.
Alright. Well, see, something happens that is so to me, they don't show it, but they kinda do.
Mm.
So disturbing that yeah, I mean, it's just a very adult show. I mean, it's strange because the marketing did you see they're selling at Wendy's, they're selling the kids' meals with Wednesday, but children should never see that show.
Oh my
It's
god.
horrible. They'll be scarred. They'll be scarred for life if they watch Wendy's,
Yeah, it
Wednesday.
had a lot of adult themes, I think,
Yeah.
for sure.
To make that a Happy Meal is not a good idea, not a good plan
Now
at
I
all.
want it, though.
The Happy Meal?
Yeah, well, I'll give someone else the burger.
Yeah. No, I don't even know if they have toy in that they have toy. I don't know if there's a toy in that bag. I don't I'm not sure. I didn't see one, but it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, you know?
Right.
But, I mean, it says, "This is not there's nothing happy in this meal," you know, when it has Wednesday, you know? And then they, you know, they have things that are purple, you know, I mean,
That's
it's
kinda
cute.
funny, though.
It's cute except that children should not see this, that's all. You know, like Burger King had an Addams Family one, and that was okay because Addams Family is fine for kids, you know?
Mhm.
I guess. I didn't see the new one, but I'm assuming it is. Anyway, so go back to what you said about that grave. Whose grave? Was it Dracula's?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me
Mhm.
about that. Where was that?
Romania.
You went to Romania?
Yeah, on Halloween.
My gosh, that's wow. That must have been awfully spooky.
Well, not to disappoint people, Transylvania's beautiful. It was fall, there was colored leaves, it's very quaint, kinda.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's nice. So we went to Bronze Castle, which was owned by Vlad
The
Welek.
Impaler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, his
What
grandfather,
was his last name?
I think it was Wallachia was the province. It was, actually, I'm gonna have to think of that, but
Oh, sorry. I didn't know it. I was like, "Oh, that sounds interesting. What's that?"
Wallachia is the province he
Uh-huh.
governed, but it was,
Okay.
Vlad Tepes.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
never knew that.
And so his grandfather had power and stuff, and that was his castle. They said if he stepped foot in it maybe once,
Gosh.
that's not where he ruled from. It's definitely spooky because it's, like, at the top of, like, a mountain thing, like, so that castle itself is a little spooky.
Mhm.
It didn't have anything from him. It was very medieval, didn't,
But why is he buried there if he never
he's
didn't live
not
there?
buried there, but that's what we went to see.
Okay, okay.
So then I was like, okay, so now I've spent all this money to come to Romania
That's
to
crazy.
see this castle that he maybe never stepped foot in that was owned by his grandfather.
Yeah. It's very
Right.
upsetting.
And
Very
all this,
upsetting.
right? So I said, are we going to go to his grave? And I have read the book, The Historian by Elizabeth, I think, Koskova. Amazing book.
Yeah.
Dracula revival.
Hmm.
I'm like, are we going to go to Snagov Monastery to his grave? And they were like, no.
Ah,
So I was like, listen, I'm gonna be honest here that I am not leaving Romania. And I'm on this guy's tour who's very nice, right?
so funny.
I'm like, I cannot leave Romania without going there. So, like, what can you do?
Wow.
He's like, well, we have this big dinner that's like, whatever. If you don't want to go to that, I can arrange for someone from my office to drive you to Snagov Monastery. And like, then
Wow.
you could pay to go in and go take pictures, whatever, and then come back. So I was like, done.
Wow.
Yeah. And then so we
Wow.
went to Snagov
How wait,
Monastery.
so how far is it from where you were?
Say we might have been like an hour or hour and a half
That's
or
not
something.
bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not bad.
So we were kinda close enough because I
Yeah.
guess we were in whatever was considered Wallachia. But, yeah, so I went there. The monastery is super cool to begin with, but then to just go and to where he was buried was
Ah,
super cool.
I bet.
Yeah,
Wow. So what is it? It doesn't say Vlad the Impaler, it just says his name, right?
Vlad Tepes. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's an interesting story about history, which you like.
Yeah.
So I was asking people, so, like, what do you guys think about, you know, being like that kind of and we went to his birthplace too, which was pretty cool.
Well, that's
But
cool.
being famous for Dracula, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we're very proud."
Okay.
And I'm
Good.
like,
Why not?
"Well," I'm like, "Well," I said, "I'm from America," and I said, "They kinda look at it like horror, and they're like, oh, yeah, like, they do all that stuff, and they blow things out of proportion and what," and I'm like, "So do tell, like, what you're proud of," and they said, "Oh, well, he was a brilliant military strategist."
Mm.
So
Okay.
this guy told me stories of how I think usually the Turks, but all different people would come in, because like, it's kinda by Russia, Ukraine,
Mhm.
they would come in and they would take it over, and that happened, like, again and again and again, and it's just history, but when
Yeah.
Vlad Tepes took over, he would if they won at battle, they would put their head on spikes, like,
Mm.
hundreds of them, all around the
Yeah.
walls of the castle, and he said that during his reign, when he did that, they did not get invaded for 3 years.
Wow. I could see why, yeah.
Right, but the thing
Yeah.
is, if you realize all war is like, being realistic and
Yeah.
objective, all war is bloody and disgusting and
It
horrible and you
no
kill people.
question.
So,
No
like,
question.
they were kind of right in a very spooky way.
No, I know. I'm a pacifist despite writing about war. I write about 2 wars now, I write about the American Revolution and the Civil War, but,
Right.
I hate war, but you're right, but something about putting somebody's head on
I
a
hate
spike.
war too, but, like, imagine if that would save your people and stop people from
Uh,
coming and
yeah,
killing
no, you're
women
right.
and
I don't know why
children.
people have to do that. Why do people have to invade? And again, history constantly repeats itself. It's happening now, as we
Yeah,
know,
like,
right?
they
Like,
lived there,
why
they were from
yeah,
there, leave them alone.
I agree. If people could just leave people alone, why can't you just live in peace? This is a huge question. Just leave people alone. Let's all just live our own lives. Why do we have to do this? Why do we have to,
Why do we
with
have to
Putin?
own
I
everything?
don't know. Putin, hello. I mean, and
Another story, but I did go to Russia.
you did. All right. Wait a minute. When did you go to Russia?
Russia, 2018?
Really? My aunt was always so mad at me that I didn't care about I'm Russian. I'm Italian and Russian. And my aunt was like, "You don't even care." I'm like, "It's not that I don't care, but like I want to work out now. I can't deal with the past." It's funny. I deal with past for writing for a living, but for myself, for my own life, I'm just trying to deal with the current situation. And I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm not tribal. I'm not tribal at all, but I am curious. Like,
See,
where did you
I'm a
go?
little.
Yeah, you are?
That has a good Halloween spot.
Oh, yeah?
The Hermitage Museum was a palace, right?
Mhm.
And if you go underneath, you can have a tour of where Rasputin was murdered.
That's interesting. Wow. So what was
Of
that good?
course
Was
I
it
did
good?
that.
Yeah.
It was
Was it
good.
wow. Wow, that's really interesting. I
Yeah,
don't
and
know, I'm afraid
there's
of
a
Russia.
church of the spilled blood, like, lots of
Church of the Spilled Blood?
something like that, yeah.
My god.
And of course, I went to, Anastasia's grave.
That's so sad, that whole story. Oh my
That
god.
was very sad, and I read the book
Yeah.
by Candace Fleming that was
Yeah, candy.
it's not for everyone, I loved it. It's a little, like, dry, like, it's for older kids and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's a little like, kid scholarly, if that makes sense,
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. That kind of yeah.
but I
Yeah.
loved it nonetheless, and I read that book and other books before we went to the graves, and,
Mm,
'cause I was adopted, so the Anastasia story was like,
yeah.
"Wouldn't you love to be like a lost princess?" So
Yeah,
we did
but
that.
isn't it true that that's not true?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true, it's not true.
Yeah. That's so sad the way that whole family just got murdered, like, the kids, like, what? Just leave them alone, like, I don't get all I can't stand
Again,
it.
it's like kind of war and how horrible it is and
Oh,
people
it's all horrible.
jealousy and that
It's
was
so
Rasputin was behind that, of course.
so then he got killed. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, then he got killed, at
So
the
who killed him?
again, I forgot the story because right now there's a lot of stories like, flying around in my head, I can only
We
think
got you
of
for you're very good with dates, so we have you for that. But,
yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna look into that because I am interested in knowing like, I find it very intriguing, but upsetting, but intriguing. I will say, I forgot one place that I've gone to that's very spooky, perhaps you've been there, the catacombs in Paris. Have you been there?
You know, I may not have.
Oh my god. It's unbelievable. You just walk through there's just piles and piles of skulls and bones
No, I have
everywhere.
not. That I would remember.
My god. It is so it's just like this crazy feeling, like, when you stop and think about how many people are buried under there. It's unbelievable. Like,
Did you feel their presence of any?
I don't know. I don't think I think that time I was not really open to anything because I was with my kids and, you don't really wanna and you
Yeah, you
kinda
don't
wanna
wanna invite
keep that
that.
you wanna get that away. And my kids were a
Right.
bit spooked by it, but I don't I don't know. I thought it'd be fun to do, go with my kids. But, yeah, that is a spooky place. If you're ever around there for this spooky season, I would definitely recommend the catacombs.
Well, I will go back there because I didn't get to go to Père Lachaise where Jim Morrison was buried.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's a good place for sure. I didn't see his grave either. I don't think my because I just didn't I've been there many times, but it never not many, but several times, and I don't know, I've always with people that really I should have gone because I do love Jim Morrison so much, but, I didn't. Oh, well. I wanna go back and also go to Lafayette's, home, not in
I'll
Paris,
go.
but yeah. Oh, we
I'll
should go,
go.
yeah, yeah. Me and Lafayette,
I know.
yeah.
We didn't wanna go with anybody else.
That's right. Oh, you and I went on the day, we followed the John Andre's hanging. We went on the
Yes,
anniversary. That's pretty spooky too. It was in October too, that when
it was.
John Andre was hanged, he's the spy. He was the British spy caught and hanged because, Benedict Arnold got away and Washington had to punish somebody. And it was John Andre, who was the most lovely guy, and all the Americans cried for this British guy. I actually have a new book out about it, Freedom's Cost, and it follows Benjamin Talmadge, he's my guy.
Yeah.
And it follows him from the beginning of the war to when he wants revenge for Nathan Hale and his brother, and then in the end he gets it with John Andre. He tells him, "Oh, you're gonna die like my friend Nathan Hale," and then he feels horrible because he, like, really cares about the guy. So that's what this book follows. Again, it's the idea that I'm really into just because someone's your enemy, you know, in a war, they're still human, and what are we doing? Like, that's, like, my basic I think that's why, over and over again, that's kind of
Your
my
underlying
running
theme.
yes, like, we're human, we're all the same, why are we doing this to each other? And I think all my books in one way or another cry that out. I'm so light, aren't I? I'm, like, the most light writer. This is what everybody thinks about when they read a picture book, you know?
I know, right?
But that book is actually not a picture book. It's middle grade, so we're trying something new here. But my picture books do well because I don't put that statement in there. It's whatever you get out of as all writing, right? Whatever people get out of something, that's what they get out of it, right? And that's the beauty of it. But I know we've been talking a long time, but I do want to touch on Salem because we
Okay.
both love Salem. Okay, so tell me what your some of your experience at Salem. What do you love about Salem?
Well, the history too. So I'll preface it that in early 90s when I went back to college, I took the history of the Salem witchcraft trials and I did
Cool.
my thesis on that.
Wow, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
Wow.
it was during that time, so it was who knows 93, 94, that I went there because I was working on it and I wanted to just really understand. And of course, the more I learned, the more terrible it is. You get to know
Yes,
the people, right?
absolutely. It makes it so much worse. It makes it so much
Yeah.
worse.
It
Oh, the
was
things
like,
that happened to them was
these are real people. And I actually,
absolutely.
this is really strange and you won't believe this, but actually, this book, can you see it?
Yes, but say it, the name just in case people are just
Henny
listening.
Penny's Weather Worries is
Yes.
inspired by the Salem witchcraft trial.
Wow.
Yeah, in a very odd way, I'll show really quick. So, basically, it's dark and the sky is falling, like it's thundering, flashing, and
Yeah.
hold on. And then the princess loses her piece, so there's all fairy tales mixed in. But Henny Penny, it hits her in the head, and then
I
starts
remember when you wrote this.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
starts the mass hysteria, right?
Yeah.
So she's doing it, then the bear drops,
Yeah.
goes in,
Wow.
and then
That's
it's
great.
everybody.
I
So
love that.
instead of I know, this is the most kid-friendly way I could think about.
Yeah, it's right,
To
absolutely.
learn
Yeah.
from, just because some person's doing a thing, like, you don't do it. So
Yeah.
so what happens is, like, when they all get crazy, they knock into each other, causing chaos and havoc, and then they knock down the whole school.
Wow.
And then at the end, like, it's like, trying to find out what happened and that, like, what should they have done?
Yeah.
And she should have, like, checked her head, like, she should have took a deep breath and checked her head. But why I wanted to
Yes.
write that story so much is
That's great.
because yeah, because
That's the perfect thing, like, every kid should have that, like, it's the perfect thing because it's so true. And because you know what I mean? That to learn you're really taking you really that's brilliant to use that and tell and you it could be applied to all the things that happen, like, especially Salem witch trials, but there's so many
yeah,
so many times in history with the mass hysteria and these things, so I really that's great. Love it.
yeah, but that
And
was all.
I remember reading that as you were working on it.
Yeah, I know, right? It's so cool when you see them come to life, and same with
Yeah,
me and your books. It's like
yeah,
it's a really nice feeling, but yeah, but I was so touched by that, uh,
yeah.
and what happened. Did you go to the parsonage?
I was there a long time ago. I didn't go this time, but refresh me about it, but I'm pretty sure I was there a long time ago.
So it's like you have to be in the know, and it's, like, back in this little path between 2, like, regular looking houses, back in
Yeah.
the woods is the foundation from the parsonage. I
Mm.
feel like I really felt vibes there.
Really?
Now yeah, who
Wow.
knows, but and then the Gallows Hill, and
Yeah,
I have to say, that was one of the places that I mostly felt everything. It was
really.
so sad and mounting, except for, and this was creepy, but in, like, the Salem Witchcraft Museum was such a hokey,
Oh,
gross.
yeah, the witch is it called what's it called? The Salem Witch
I
Museum,
think
is
it's
it?
a Salem Witch Museum or
Yeah.
something.
Oh, that's the worst. I mean, I
It
have a
was the hokiest
yeah,
thing.
I know. It's so stupid. I mean, and first of all, how dated is it? Like, it looks like Epcot when it was originally, like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like
When they had the
100 years ago.
and yeah, and cheesy, and they in the first part, they have those things that's like Epcot, the old Epcot, and then I mean, they do tell you the story. I mean, there are some human they do lay out some human qualities of the people.
Right.
So for that, it's good, you know? And I'm telling you, I wrote a review about it, and I think, like, 8,000 people have liked this review because I said that, and I put pictures. You know what I put pictures of in the second room? They have those all they have is those little they have things that just like the whole history of witchcraft, but they rush you through it.
Yeah.
You can't get any sense of it because the woman it's all like they want you out of there so the next group can come in. It's just they're just rushing you out and you can't even but you I took pictures of the little descriptions. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, what is this? Like, you're not and there's nothing about the Salem witches in that room. You go past the Salem witches already. So, what's going on here? It's so cheesy.
Yeah, and what about the house? The house was really the judge's house.
The witch museum?
No, there's a
What
witch museum, and then there's a house.
the house, yes, yes, that's right. The judge, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you
right.
have to go to Danvers. Actually, that's the other thing about going to Salem. It didn't really happen there. Like, so
Right.
when you're going to the judge's house where the judge lived, you could go to, Nathaniel
Yeah.
Hawthorne's house if you want, House of
I've
the
been there. I like that because you
I
know
like
me.
that too. Yeah, that was a good experience, but the stuff around there for the, Salem was not where it really happened. It happened
Yeah.
in Danvers. So you can go to Rebecca Nurse's house in Danvers, and that's where the
Wow.
parsonage is.
I didn't realize that they had that in Danvers.
That's where
Why don't they make
Gallows.
that so why is Salem the one that's so known? Why was that built up and not the other one?
I don't remember the answer to that, but that's another thing. Like, if we ever do research prior to a session,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's just, well, Salem was like the town where people came together, and when there was a trial, that's where the people came. That's
O
where they were tried, I
okay.
believe.
But
But
where is the Gallows Hill? That is that technically in
that
Salem?
was Danvers too, I believe.
Okay. I was afraid to go there. I don't
And
know,
the
the tour guide
monument. The
The tour guide
monument?
yeah, yeah, yeah. The tour guide made me scared to go to Gallows Hill. I don't know why. But
Hmm.
not because no, I think he said that people get robbed there, not for anything spooky. He said that it's dangerous to go there. He said that it's not a safe place to be, like, because of robbery, not because of spookiness.
Okay.
Yeah. So, we didn't go because we are easily scared.
That's terrible that people are ruining that for other people.
Well, those thieves, they're not the most
Still
considerate people.
robbing like they were robbing land.
Yeah,
Basically,
that's
it was
true.
land disputes,
Oh,
and then
yeah. Oh, yeah. The whole reasoning behind it, the financial gain, absolutely. It's unbelievable with Salem, They like, that is a major reason why it was done for financial gain, you
I
know?
know,
And
it's
they don't really
horrible.
talk about that there. I learned about it because I was, doing a presentation for something, I don't know, about and I had to research it, and I learned it from that, but nobody mentioned that in Salem.
I know, you had to
Yeah.
know about it,
They
really.
really don't tell you a lot. Like, they really limit it, you
They
know?
want you to think that these people were witches or something, like, that's the whole.
So that you think they're trying to keep the mystique up, like, the
Yeah, that's
question
what I think.
well, I don't know, I mean,
What
I
if
think
you think
that
it's all bullshit? They weren't there's no witches.
I know there's no witches. I think that some of them like, in the walking tour, I don't think the guy now that you say it, maybe he did try to keep it a mystique. Yeah, now that you say that.
To
Yeah, I
some
guess you're right.
degree.
Yeah, to some degree. They do, because they always want you to, like, take the pictures and see if you see an orb and this stuff, and it's all, like it is all very, it really is. The place is like a big tourist trap. I went on a really good spooky tour, but it wasn't the Salem one was okay. I don't know. It wasn't spooky at all, really. But it also poured for a lot of it, and that was not fun at all, And poor Pascal and I had like one little umbrella we were sharing. We're not prepared at all. But in Boston, we took a haunted trolley. What I mean, the trolley wasn't haunted, but they take you on a trolley, and it's a ghost tour, and that was really good. And the guy I don't know if he was acting or if he really thinks that he's like, but he was portraying himself as like a demon, and man, he was spooky. He
Wow.
was really creepy. This guy. I have a picture of me and him, and it looks like he's gonna eat me. Like like he was a full on creep, and he never broke it. You know what I mean? He never broke the facade. No matter how much me, I tried to talk to, I was talking to him, but he never broke it, and he had the keys to go in graveyards, like, because I guess that tour is the only way you could get in those graveyards at night, and man, they were spooky, and it was really good. He was telling us really interesting stories. I don't remember the name of it. I'll try to put that in the show notes too, but
Yeah, I
that
would
was a
do
good
that.
one. That one I would recommend because that was really spooky, and you got to go in these graveyards, there's a really famous graveyard where you go in during the day in Boston, where Paul Revere is buried.
Granary,
Yeah, and is that the name?
the
Yeah.
granary or something where Samuel
Sam
Adams
Ad
is
is
buried
facing
and
yes,
the
yes,
Boston Massacre people.
yes,
That's the old
yes.
granary or something.
Well, we got to go in at night when it was locked.
Oh
It
my
was
gosh.
really cool. Yeah, it totally was a different feeling, and, so I highly recommend that one, which I will try to link it in the show notes. I'm so bad with that stuff, but I'm gonna do it. Gonna do it. But, yeah, so that was like one of the best. It was probably, yeah, one of the top ghost and I go on a lot of ghost tours. I love if there's a ghost tour, I will go on that tour, you know?
Have you
That's where I
done the
learned
one at the cemetery, like, in Queens or whatever it is?
no. What that
Yeah, the
big one?
big
Oh, they
one.
have a ghost tour?
They did at one time.
No. No, and also they have the spirits one in Three Village. They have the spirits tour over there too, which I've never gone on. I never go when I live near anything. I only go when I'm traveling. So funny. But I do love them. That's how I learned how to use the divining rods. The guy had them on the tour in San Antonio, and I said when I realized that I could communicate, I'm really good at communicating with spirits. Like I don't have that thing where I see them or anything, but I mean, I only use them for Casey now. That's how I communicate with Casey. But those rods, and
No, I know. Did you
I'm
do it
so
at Houdini's grave? Did you try it?
I did not. I did not.
Because he
But
was really into that, so
was he? I didn't know that.
oh my gosh, he always tried to get in touch with his dead mother.
Well, I knew that, but I didn't know. But he didn't do the rods, though, did he?
No, but he
Oh
would
yeah.
but
Oh yeah. I know. I
I would
know he
think
did.
So real quick funny story about that. So my grandmother was buried in Evergreen Cemetery in Brooklyn, and I used to go there and get so upset, like I didn't want her to be dead. And
Yeah.
then sometimes instead of visiting her, I would visit Harry Houdini's grave in Macapella
Wow.
because I felt like, that was like and his grave is so cool. But you
Wow.
should go there with your rod because he was
Okay.
like, and then Bess, I think, kept trying to get in touch
She
with him.
did. She did, but and they had a word and no one ever got it.
Maybe you'll
That
get it.
I don't know. I don't I communicate with Casey, but it's really like you know what I did? I set up like a whole chart for him to point to things, to spell out things, but it's really hard because it like takes forever, right? To you know what I mean? Like spelling out it and but
Kinda
I
like Ouija.
it is like so I do get messages from him. But I was you know how people always say try to get the lottery numbers from people? So I'm like, "Casey, can you give me the numbers, the daily numbers or whatever?" Or no, it was lottery, I don't know what it was. But he pointed out numbers, right? So I started going, like, I went to several different places and played these numbers because 'cause I'm like, "Well, like, I don't know, I just was trying in different spots. I had some crazy thing I was just determined that I was gonna win, but it was nothing, right? So then I'm like, "Casey, was this just a joke?" And he said, "Yes." 'Cause he's like, "We can't tell you that we don't know the future."
That's funny.
He's a real jokester, but, I mean, it's true, why would they know the future, right?
No,
Think
why
about it.
would they?
Yeah,
Right.
it doesn't make any sense, but I was just so hopeful. I fell into all that, but he says that he says he can see some people, but not a lot, not everyone. It's not like a place where you can just run into anybody in history, apparently.
Mhm.
I think everybody sort of has their own spots and things like that. So he's like I've tried to get information from him about other people, like famous people or whatever, but he's just he says he can't see them. Maybe he just doesn't want to be bothered. Like that's Casey too. He doesn't want to deal with all this. Like he's like,
Right.
leave me alone. Leave me alone. But so I'm not good at getting actual answers from them. I can get like yes and no basically, and but it would be cool to try for sure. Like, I could at least maybe I could communicate with Houdini, it's possible.
Well, I'll tell you as a teaser, so, there was a person that I kinda saw in, like, a vision, whatever, and, he was married to my really good friend, and I saw him, not her, and I wasn't
Hmm,
even with her, so I said, I need to tell her that I saw you to, so she can feel that you're close. And I said, is there a word that I should tell her to know that I really did? And he gave me this word. And I guess they'll have to
wow.
tune in again to see what it was. But
My god, really? That's amazing.
he
Oh,
gave
so he spoke to you saw him and he spoke to you?
he said
Wow.
a word. And when I told my friend, I said, you're gonna think I'm crazy. It's the stupidest word. It's just I don't even wanna repeat it, it's such a dumb word, and then she went white because it was
Wow.
very significant to them in a way
Wow.
that I would not have known.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Hey, we
so
will do that. We'll do that in the part 2.
yeah.
That's amazing. I love that. I love that. I would really love to have I mean, look, I'm grateful I communicate with Casey, no question, but I really would love to see him. I really would. It's tough, it's a tough thing, and it's never gonna get any
You don't
easier,
know,
but
maybe it would be harder.
if I saw him, nah, I'm pretty confident. Like, did you ever see that old show, The Ghost of Mrs. Muir, and the guy was
Yes, I
just, like,
used to
hanging
grow up
out?
watching that.
Me
I
too.
love
I
that
want
show.
Casey to be like him. I want him to hang out.
Yeah, see,
That's what
that
I
would
want.
be super cool.
Yeah. Why can't that be real? I want that. So, yeah, it's tough.
You
But,
never
I mean,
know, you will see him one day, though.
I know I'll be with him. No, I know that's what keeps me going, that I'm gonna be I know I'm gonna be with him. He saw the movie, what's the thing? Everything Everywhere All at Once, and he
But
and
I
he
didn't
said to
see
me,
that.
"Well, you should see it. It's right up your alley
I
with
thought
the
you were
whole."
gonna say The Sixth Sense.
No, I mean, he probably saw that, but he Everything Everywhere All at Once came out, like, maybe a few months before he passed away. So, we were in California, and he just came out, and he was so excited. He's like, "I watched this movie twice." He goes, "I love this movie so much, and I'm so glad I watched it because now I know how everything works." Now, that movie is not something I ever thought that he would I only watched it after he died because 'cause I'm like, I remembered. It was like a message to me in advance. I got a lot of things happened in advance. Like, we both knew. Looking back, we both knew because he would talk about, "Mom, when I die, you can't kill yourself. You always said you would kill yourself. You have to take care of Bean." Like, he was always saying stuff like that in the months leading up, and I started feeling this horrible dread. And then in the hosp I took him to the South Nassau Hospital. He had COVID. I didn't know it was COVID, and, I knew he needed, like, a chest X-ray because I thought he did because he was that's why I took him to the hospital as opposed to urgent care,
Right.
so that I brought him into the triage room, and he was always very shy, so I was answering the questions for him, and he wasn't shy, like, if you knew you knew him, but he was just shy in those kind of situations, they said, "Has he ever been here before?" I said, "Yeah, he was born here," and a voice said in my head,
Oh,
and the voice said, "And
and
died here."
died here.
Yeah. You tell obviously, this was, like, preordained. There's no I mean, people are like, "Oh, you don't know." I'm like, "No, I do know, because then he died there." You know, like, I don't know what more you people want from me. That's obviously evidence, like, what do you think? Is obviously I didn't know. It wasn't like I made this up, this voice. It was a voice, and that's. So anyway, we knew, it's weird. Like it's like, and he made a soul contract. Like I've just talked to enough people. I've figured this out enough. I've talked to a lot of psychic people, and he's told me through communications, both with the sticks, he confirms it, and when I talk to people, and he made a soul contract before he was born, and that he would die then, and it was to teach me something, and it really makes me angry because I'm like, if you want to teach me something, just tell me, God, whoever you are,
Right.
just tell me. I'm very cooperative, I'm very cooperative. And you didn't have to take my kids. So that, it's game over for me with that. But and I said, "Casey, did you think like 23 years was a long time before, back then?" He's like, "Yeah." Like they don't have a concept of that's only a short time, you know?
Right.
So it's well, but there's no question, but I know that when he saw that movie, it was not there's no mistaking that he was meant to watch it and see how it works and show me. And that movie is all about the idea that we find each other, like, when we die, and you're together, and it's like it's this movie, it's really good message, it's really interesting, but it's also a crazy movie, like,
Wow.
crazy stuff happens, and there's no way that Casey would've liked that under normal circumstances. He wouldn't have patience for it because it's bizarre. It's most bizarre movie you'll ever see.
If it ever comes on Netflix, like I have Vicky, which is Asian, like a Asian drama TV. There's this movie, Goblin, Lonely and Great God, that is amazing, kind of
Really?
about that stuff.
Really?
I've watched it like 13 times,
Wow.
and it's 16
13.
episodes
Wow. And the
because
only
it's like
where do
my
you get it? You can
favorite.
only get it on this you can only get it on the something, what is it on?
Viki, Viki, it's owned by Rakuten. It's Asian, like a Asian TV thing, but,
So does it have subtitles?
it does, but they have a lot of Asian dramas on Netflix now, so if
Okay.
Goblin, they call it Goblin, but it's Guardian, the Lonely and Great God.
Hmm,
If it ever comes to Netflix, we watch it. It's honestly, like, something that is so bittersweet
hmm.
because it's about life, but yet gives you so much hope, and it's so sad, but it also makes you feel like your heart swell.
Really? Wow.
It does, and it's historical, it's mystical, it's
Really?
so good. Yeah,
Wow. We're gonna have to watch that.
I know.
Wow.
If I ever see it anywhere else, I'll try to remember to tell you because it's like it's amazing, and when I make people watch K-dramas, like, that's usually the one.
That's interesting. Well, I could always subscribe for a month and just see it, right?
But yeah, I think you get even free trial. I don't know if it's on the free trial, but it's like all these things about life and, I don't wanna
Wow.
ruin anything, but I'll send to remind you because it's something I think you would love.
Wow, okay. Okay. Very good, thank you. Alright, well, we've been talking a long time, so I guess
We
we'll
can
call
do
it a
that.
day. We can. But this has really been a lot of fun. Is there anything further you wanted to say about Salem before we go?
I do think it's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you hear about it, so it's really cool when you go yourself, And
Yeah.
then also to learn about the history and kind of learn from the history, I think is really important because you should never like jump on a hysteria or gang up on people when you don't know if it's true or, you know.
You're right, and in a way that happens so much right now, I mean, no one is ever getting the full story of anything. Everybody just immediately just
Picks a side.
accepts. It's crazy without being fully informed, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at my back episodes and every single this well, many of them involve critical thinking. I'm always saying, critical thinking. Don't just believe what someone tells you. Find
Right,
out the whole
learn,
thing.
do the research,
Yeah,
read the book, like, read the
yeah,
real books about what happened and
everything.
understand it's tragic and learn from it so it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, because people just accept, and they don't even know anybody just says anything and they just believe it. I mean, it's just so bad. It's making me crazy, but I always talk about it over and over again, critical thinking, and that's really what it boils down to. And wow, things would be much better. Things would be much better right now if everybody was doing the critical
It would,
thinking.
like, we need critical thinking,
We really
and we
do.
also need to have history, not erase it, to learn and understand from it
Yeah.
so that it doesn't repeat, like, you were
Yeah.
saying history repeating, so
It really does. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. But we do our best. I don't know. I work really hard, and writing is one of the hardest things I think because it takes so much from your soul. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful process, but it also is very. It's just a lot. It's a lot to give so much of yourself, but it is all worth it. I think I do the best I can. And you're a really hard worker too. We're both really dedicated people.
That's why we, like, found each other, like,
Yeah.
no one was published, remember? Pretty much
No.
except for Arel, maybe? Arel had
Yes, she was, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
except for Arel, and, like, I think if you were gonna put money on the next 2, it was gonna be us,
Well, yeah, we were surely determined. We were like
right?
on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you knew,
Yeah.
right?
You have to be on fire to get published, I think, because it's just too hard.
It is.
Like you have to be determined. You have to be like it reminds me of Rosé, the singer Rosé. I really love her story because she won she got entrance into the K-pop one of those K-pop schools and she went there for like 4 years and her parents are like, "No, it's enough. Come home." And she goes, "No. Coming home is not an option. I'm making it." Like you have to know you're going to make it. You
Exactly.
have to know you're gonna make it in order to make it because otherwise you won't because you're gonna derail yourself. It's so hard to make it, and it's more than just talent, it's determination. You have
It
to have
is.
both, you really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you for being here with me. It was so
It
much
was
fun.
so fun. It makes
Yeah,
me miss you. We have to get
I
together
know.
soon.
We do. So, all right, guys, well, thank you for listening, and, we'll see Lynn again on another episode. Take
Thank
care.
you. Bye, everybody.